Hey guys, today we have a variation of the benchmark workout Kelly. That is a CrossFit benchmark WOD that we have done in here before, so if you have it in sugar WOD, you might want to look at it, though we do have to modify it compared to what we would do in the gym. So the original version of Kelly is a 400-meter run, 30 wall balls, 30 box jumps for 5 rounds. Obviously we don't have that equipment with us, so we are doing 5 rounds, same thing. 400-meter run is the same. Instead of doing wall balls, we are going to be doing dumbbell goblet thrusters, 30 of those, and then 30 lateral hops over the dumbbell that will simulate those box jumps. How we might want to modify that, or the goblet squat or goblet thruster is going to be with 2 hands instead of 1. So I'm going to get Max to demonstrate that once we've got that all, or I've described all of this. So the problem here might be that you guys have a heavy dumbbell. Some of you would have picked a dumbbell like what I told you to pick. It might be a little bit heavy for what we're trying to simulate here. So we're doing the simulation is 30 wall balls. Think you would be throwing it a 50 or 20 pound wall ball or a 14 pound wall ball or whatever variation you would do. Now we have 1 goblet or 1 dumbbell, and it might be a little bit on the heavier side. So sort of think what you can do there. You might need to drop your number. We are looking to do those dumbbell goblet thrusters in 1 to 2 sets. So if you think you can't do that with the weight you have, you might want to drop that weight, or you might want to drop those numbers, or try to find something weight-wise in your house. So we talked about the weighted backpack before last week when we were sort of simulating what kind of things we could use around our house for weight, and we talked about doing a weighted backpack. You might want to look for something like that if you have it. Otherwise, you can just drop the number of dumbbell thrusters and do it in something you could do in 1 to 2 sets. The lateral hops, those should be fine. Doing 30 lateral hops over the dumbbell, those will be easier than doing 30 box jumps. So what might be harder here will be a little bit easier here. And again, if you can't do lateral hops, you might want to try to find something you could step up on and do step ups instead, or you can step back and forth over the dumbbell. That probably won't give you the same stimulus as what 30 hops will give you. You could even think about those vertical jumps that we did last week, where some of you that couldn't jump off the ground, we did that where you just fully extend. That might give you more of a simulated type movement for box jumps than just stepping over the dumbbell, okay? So you could do step ups on something in your house if you can't do these. You can do those vertical hops or vertical jumps without your feet coming off the ground if you can't do these. Or you can end up stepping over the dumbbell if that's what you choose. All right, we're looking to maybe do those in 2 to 3 sets. Some of you that have a really good springy jump, like the younger people, Max is going to show you, can pop up over those pretty easily. So he's probably going to be able to do those in 1 to 2 sets. The rest of us probably 2 to 3 sets. Running subs, we talked about that on Saturday when we had to run. Same idea. So if you listen to that video, that's what we're talking about here. If you can't do 400-meter runs, you're going to do 300-meter runs. We just don't want to stop. We want to try to keep moving. So picking a distance we can keep moving with. 500, 400-meter row, 28 calorie, 20 calorie bike. Any machine that you have in your house, like an elliptical or a Stairmaster, we're just looking for about 2 minutes of work or less. So you don't really want to be over that 2-minute mark here. If you have a backpack, a weighted backpack, go for a really fast walk for 250 meters, or go on a speed walk without the backpack and do 250 meters. We are pacing wise, this is going to be a long WOD, it's 5 rounds. You are looking to try to maintain your pace here so that your first round is similar to your last round. So please don't jump out of the gates and try to go as fast as you can in round 1. It is 5 rounds of quite a bit of work, so you want to pace yourselves thinking, my first round, I want it to be the same as my 5th round. So your first round can't be a sprint round, or your 5th round is going to be like a turtle round. All right, we'd already talked about what that is. Max is going to show us what dumbbell thrusters are. So with the goblet, or your dumbbell, he's going to hold it in 2 hands. So you might want to turn towards Cassie a little bit. Do you have the 50 or the 35?
35.
So Max is using a 35, just so you know. So he's holding it in 2 hands. You got to keep your chest up. Thinking we're simulating a wall ball here, right? So it's just like a thruster. Look straight ahead. right over your shoulders. Yep. So make sure this is not a wall ball, so we have to make sure we're going all the way up and through our shoulders, so our bar or dumbbell is right over our shoulders, not holding it in front of our shoulders, and we are squatting below parallel, okay? So those are your dumbbell thrusters. Just remember what we talked about in terms of scaling those if you have to. And then your dumbbell lateral hops are like these, where you're trying to just jump back and forth. And good. All right, so that was 10. Max would easily be able to do those in 1 to 2 sets. Like I said, sometimes some of you might need to do 2 to 3 sets, and how you're gonna modify that. All right, good job, guys.